Hello, everyone. You are welcome to another episode of what's that? Okay, so quick announcement, which will be the first announcement I'll be making in this show for today. I have finally given this series a name, and it will from now on be called the Otumba Adams Show. TOAS, the Otumba Adams Show. So that's the name of this program now. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you all are welcome to the Otumba Adams Show. Okay, so we have our very first um, person here. Festus Fameshaw. Yeah, welcome to the show, brother. Welcome to the show. We used to be departmental mates in our university days. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. So while we wait for others to join in, please do me a favor. Once you are on, write your name, your location, and put it in the comment section, okay? So that I will be able to welcome you. If this is your first time of being part of the show, please do well by putting it up. Let's know where you are at the moment. Just your name and your location. You know how we do it. This is the normal tradition, okay? You introduce yourself. My name is so and so, and I am based at this location. And then I'm going to put it up on the screen to welcome you. All right? So I am waiting. I am waiting. Nigerians and African time. We said it's going to be for 4 o'clock. I don't know why people are not yet here, but then we'll still wait. We are still waiting. We are still waiting. Yes, I made an announcement. I think I need to write it out. I said that the show or this series will now be called a. Okay, so this from now on will now be the whole program. So it's going to be the Otumba Adams Show. We'll be working on the logo. You guys will be seeing more changes after now, right? We'll try to make it more fine and more what's it called, the graphics and all will be pasted on the screen. All right. So do me a favor, wherever you are right now, put your name, put your location. Let me know where you are. Let me know that you're part of this program. Okay, so that I can welcome you also. If this is your first time, you're welcome. Please put your name, put your location, and then let me know if this is your first time of being on the show. All right, I'm still waiting for you guys. Please write your name, your location, put it in the comment section, and let us know where you are before we kick off today's topic. By the way, today's topic is going to be reinventing yourself, how to reinvent yourself as life keeps changing, as things are happening. How can you reinvent yourself? So I'm still waiting. I have 6 people live right now. Please introduce yourself wherever you are, your name, your location, put it in the comment section, and I'm going to put it on the screen. All right? I'm still waiting to know. You guys cannot just be watching me for fun. We just have to do this tradition, okay? Put your name, put your location in the comment section. I am waiting. I am waiting. I am waiting. While I'm waiting for you guys, let me quickly copy something from my what's the word now? From my Telegram channel. So, if you want to be, if you want to know when next we would be live, right? Please do well by following us on this Telegram channel. I'm going to put the link on the screen right now. Okay. Otumba Adams Show, just t.me/the Otumba Adams Show and join our Telegram group. Okay, we have our first Edna from Edo State. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you. Thank you. Do we have any other person that is live with us? Introduce yourself, your name, and your location. Let us know where you're chatting from. I say where you're coming from, where you're chatting from. All right. I have 2 more minutes to do this, and then we'll dive right into what I have to teach for today. All right. I've only had 2 people introduce themselves, Festus Fameshaw and Edna Bussy. So wherever you are, if you're on Facebook, watching from Facebook, if you're watching from YouTube, just put your name and your location, and I will put it on the screen. It is just a way for us to welcome each other. And what you guys are seeing on your screen right now is the Telegram link. I would love you all to join the Telegram uh, channel, such that any news, anything new would send it to you guys. Okay, you guys will be the first person to know. All right. Let me remove this from the screen. I have 1 minute left and I would be going live. Okay, I think I have one more person here. Thank you, Abolade Precious, um, one of the people that have been on the show over and over again. Thank you for being part of the show. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for more people. All right. So, what we'll be talking about, reinventing yourself. I have 15 seconds left. If nobody introduces themselves next, I'll dive right into what I have to teach for today. This English grammar sometimes they're like the hard person, seriously, like the hard person. All right. So in three, in two, let me clear my face so that I'll be able to like take properly. 3, 2, 1, let us dive right in. Let me bring out my note. Okay. So reinventing. I am sure a lot of us have probably heard of the word reinvention or have seen it take place in one way or the other. It might probably be in your life. You may have to like reinvent yourself in such a way that you moved from one career to another. It might be in the case of a company that had to reinvent what they used to do to something new. One of one of such examples would be Nokia. Now, it is funny to note that a lot of us know Nokia as a company that is into phones. But how many of us actually know that Nokia did not originally start from making phones, right? Nokia started from what? From manufacturing rubber tires and galoshes. Nokia, yes, the same Nokia that you know from Finland, right? Da 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 da. Yeah, they didn't start from making phones. They started from making rubber tires and galoshes. Like when I read about it, and I was like, okay, so this company did not start from this point, but this is what we know them as. Maybe tomorrow they may change. Another such example is Apple. Apple originally started from manufacturing computers, right? But they had their big break when they reinvented the company and then moved to the creation of iPod and iPhone, right? They reinvented themselves. And right now, Apple is one of the biggest companies in the world. Like, if you know, if you think about brand phones, the first thing, or like one of the first three you're going to mention will probably be iPhone. Before you say Samsung, before you say Huawei, or so, like the number one that you probably make mention of is going to be what? iPhone. Another example of a company that reinvented themselves is Western Union. Now, okay, yeah, Festus is viewing from Pretoria, South Africa. Thank you, bro. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you very much. All right, so as I was saying, Western Union did not start. Okay, like a lot of us know, rather, a lot of us know Western Union as a company that sends money from one country to another. If you want to send money to someone abroad, one of the means you would probably like consider is using Western Union. We know that like a lot of fintech companies have sprung up over the years, but one of the major ones that like we know is Western Union. However, Western Union did not start as a money sending company, if I were to use that word, right? They kicked off as a telegram company. So a telegraph company sending telegraph messages from one country to another. That was where Western Union started from, right? Now, it goes to say that reinventing oneself, reinventing one's company, reinventing something about a person is not something that is new. It has always been for a very, very long time. having to reinvent. Because if you keep on doing the same thing the same way when you started off, on the long run, you would realize that you would become obsolete. Some things that used to be the main thing in the past are no longer relevant now. An example of such is the Walkman. How many of us remember the Walkman while growing up? Like the Walkman was the in thing at that point in time. But there's nothing called a Walkman anymore. Now, a company that would have produced Walkman, if they decided to stay without reinventing themselves, without recreating themselves, then they are going to go out of business. The same way we are as humans, right? The same way as humans, if we choose not to reinvent ourselves as the years go by, what you know today would be obsolete in the next 2 years, sometimes in the next 6 months. And if you still hold on dear to that thing that like you feel that this is what I have learned, then you would no longer be relevant. We're in a world where if you do not keep advancing, you would no longer be what? You would no longer be relevant. We have Olaju, Lush Beauty from Akure. Thank you for being a part of the show, Jumoke. She's one of the best makeup artists I have gotten to meet over the years. Thank you for being a part of the show. So I was talking about reinvention. All right, so now let me cite an example with Jumoke that I just put up here. Years ago, people that did makeup, I'm sure they know that like it's only tiru that they used to like use on their face, but then makeup has advanced beyond that point. Now it would only take someone who is willing to change the way they see the world, right? To be able to flow with the pattern of the world. Okay, if you choose to be stagnant, you would not be able to what to meet up. Now, I'm going to give you guys an example of my own self while growing. Right now, I graduated in the year 2010 from the Federal University of Technology, Akure. I studied mechanical engineering, as some of you might rightly know. However, when I graduated, I realized that the amount of jobs for engineers was not as much, right? I traveled to Lagos. I went back home. I was originally based in Lagos. I traveled to Lagos and I tried looking for a job, but I could not really find the in thing because in my mind I felt that like once I graduate, it should be easy for me to get an oil job or like or say working with an oil company. But at the end of the day, it turned out that like, guy, what you have is not enough. So I decided to what to move away from the engineering line, and I started working with an IT firm. After a while, like I had to quit after writing some certifications. I had to quit because it was not really the path I wanted to go. Then I realized that like, okay, fine. Something new I could learn was what importation. I delved into importation. I was importing for a number of years until our lovely president came into power and dollar shot up and it affected my capital and I had to back out because people were no longer willing to pay the same price they used to pay. So they were not willing to pay a new price because they felt that like the old price was something that like they still wanted to like stick to. But I realized that like if I continue this way, this thing is going to affect me because the dollar kept on rising. And if you remember vividly, I think that's at 2005 when Buhari became president. It moved, sorry, not 2005, 2015 that he became president. Dollar shot up from 150, and right now we are still battling with 475. That's even like times three of what it used to be. Anybody into importation would know how difficult it is to make a sale. Now, I realized like, okay, dude, you cannot stay in this line. What can you do to still remain relevant? I looked at what I was good at and I was like, okay, fine, guy, you're good with writing, you're good at learning anything that has to do with tech. So why don't you look for a new skill you can actually learn? And then I started learning animation, and I also realized that like I had the voice for doing voiceovers. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adam Toluwafemi. And I know now, like, I had that voice and I was like, okay, why don't I combine doing animation and voiceovers together? Now, what I was doing along the line in trying to stay relevant was me reinventing myself. I was trying to reinvent myself to the point that like I will be relevant globally. Now, if I should say that like I want to remain with the software I'm using currently in the next 5 years, so less than in the next 2 years, younger people would have learned something higher than what I know right now. And if I do not improve on myself, I will be obsolete. All right, I will be obsolete. Now, there was someone said something. I'm trying to like get what's it called? Charles Darwin said something that like survival goes not necessarily to the most intelligent or the strongest of the species, but to the one that is the most adaptable to change. I'm sorry, let me take that again. Charles Darwin said, survival goes not necessarily to the most intelligent or the strongest of the species, but to the one that is most adaptable to change. Now ask yourself or look around you. There are a lot of people, yeah, Wiz Queen, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're a bit late, but then you're still welcome. All right, now ask yourself that like there are a lot of people while growing up that you feel they're very, very intelligent. And in Nigeria, we tend to like equate intelligence with the amount of money you are meant to make. But that doesn't work that way. I have a particular lecturer, right? He's very, very good. We call him Guru. Now, he's so good that like he barely brings any book to class and he can write equations to fill the board, clean it off, and then write from one end to the board to the other. But does that say he is the wealthiest? No. If money was his major aim, then why wasn't he wealthy? Or like if money was, or sorry, if intelligence rather, I'm sorry, if intelligence is what we use in weighing how much you would make, then how come this guru, this man that is so good, has not made so much money? And someone that probably finished with a third class is driving one of the latest cars. What happened? If we are going to use intelligence to measure wealth, it is what's the word now? On the inability to adapt to what? To change. The inability to adapt to change. Now let's go down to how do you reinvent yourself? How do you reinvent yourself? The first thing I'd like you to know is that like for you to be able to reinvent yourself, you should be able to own your own life. One thing I realized about this world is this: everyone keeps running the rat race. You grow up, they tell you that like at the age of 5, you have to start school. You start school. Primary school, you need to finish primary school. You finish primary school, you finish secondary school, you get a job, you get married, you have kids, your kids grow up, your kids marry, you grow old, you start expecting, especially for African parents, you start expecting your children to start giving you stipends every month, and then you die. For me, that is not how life is meant to be. A lot of us, we want something better for ourselves, but because we are carried away with what the world tells us to do, what the society tells us to do, we keep on at the rat race and we do not find ourselves before we die. Or a lot of people, by the time they have found themselves, they realize that like they are too old to make any meaningful impact anymore. All right. So you need to do what? You need to own your life. Now, in owning your life, you need to ask yourself this question: is there anything that I am doing today that, knowing what I know now, right? That knowing what I know now, right? I would not start up again today if I had to do it all over. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that, like, with all the knowledge that you have, right? Look around you, everything you are doing now. If you had to go back to the very beginning, would you do that same thing again? Would you go into that profession again? Would you go into that line? Would you date that person? would you would you would you would you be a victim? Yeah, that's the word. Would you be a victim of that habit that you are doing, knowing what you know now, knowing the effect that thing has caused for you? Would you take that path all over again? If you would not do that, then that means that you need to do what? You need to reinvent yourself. You need to reinvent yourself. Okay. Knowing what you know now, would you want to go back? So, knowing what you know now, if you were to go back from the beginning, would you do that same thing? Ask yourself. I really need you to ask yourself, knowing what you know now, everything you've been taught in life, right? If you had to go back from the beginning, would you still do the same thing the same way you have done it, or would you do it differently? Now, one of the things about rat race is that you have lost, or like you would realize that like you have lost control of your life. And that's the bad, or that's the sad part about what's it called, the rat race. The more you keep on moving, the more you realize that I no longer have control. The society dictates how I'm meant to do things. The religion dictates. My family dictates. But you are the only person that does not have a say in your life. And if you need to have a say in your life, if you need to have a say in your business, you need to do what? You need to take the bull by the horn. Now, there are 7 stages in which people can regain control over their lives. There are 7 stages. I'm sorry, just a moment. Let me just clear my face. There are 7 stages that people can regain their life. Now, the very first stage that most people actually are, that's the most basic level for anyone, is denial. Many times we deny that we are having an issue. We deny the fact that like we are stuck at a point, right? We tell ourselves that like, no, 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 this is how we've always been doing it. But the truth of the matter is that like that is not how the world does it anymore, or the world has moved. Or for you to be your best version, you cannot hold on to the old time religion that you grew up with, the mentality you grew up with. So if you're in denial, believe you me, you go nowhere. And a lot of the time, a lot of people are in denial. You're in a relationship, your partner is what's the word? Is brutal, is attacking you, is making your life miserable, and then you deny the fact that like, the person is doing it because you tell yourself that I love him or he loves me. That is a state of what? Of denial. You are not in control. Someone else is in control of whatever it is that you're doing. You are not in control of the situation. Then the next step, which is the second phase, rather, the second phase of regaining your control is anger. Now, if you've left the point of denial, then you start getting angry at every single thing happening around you, especially for the areas that you are not comfortable with. You need to change, especially if you realize that, like, okay, I am stuck in this point, right? I have been doing this thing for the past 20 years. I have not gotten a promotion. Why? Like, why is this? Like, this anger starts coming from within. Now, you have stopped being in denial. You've stopped maybe feeling like, okay, like using that job example, you've stopped telling yourself that, like, okay, I am not promoted because I have not given my best. But then, like, you've now looked at it that, okay, fine, I have spent 20 years in this field and they have not promoted me. Why? Like, they've promoted the younger ones. Why haven't they promoted me? You start becoming what? Angry. That's the second phase. The third phase is what? Blame. You start blaming other people. The reason why I'm this way is because my father was not rich while growing up. That is why I'm poor. The reason why I haven't gotten that degree is because I don't have enough money. The reason why I am in this brutal relationship is because there's nobody else I can date, or if I should leave, I don't know what I'm going to expect. You start blaming every other person at that point in time. That just know that, like, okay, that's the third phase for some people. The next phase, now I'm trying to like walk our way up from the base to the top. I said that like the first phase is denial, the second phase is anger, the third phase is blame. You start blaming other people, right? The fourth phase is guilt. Once you've left the level of of anger, you start feeling guilty, right? And you start feeling bad, you start feeling sad. That like, why am I here? I could actually have done better, but I am still here. I could actually have done something much more than I am actually doing right now, but I am still here. You start feeling guilty for the phase you are in, right? Start feeling guilty. The next phase, which is one of the most important phase, is taking responsibility. Once you are in that level, believe you me, I give you a hand. Like you have gotten to that level that like for everything that happens in your life, you tell yourself that like I am responsible for this. You're no longer blaming any other person for your downfall. You're no longer blaming other people for the fact that like you have not done well in life. You start taking responsibilities for your action. If you need to reinvent yourself, you really need to take responsibilities for every single thing happening around you, be it your business, be it your family, be it your relationship, be it your health. You need to take responsibility for everything and anything happening around you. That is the next phase, which is number five. Number six is reframe. Now you've gotten to the level that like you have you have taken ownership for everything happening around you. Then you ask yourself, how do your I restructure everything? How do I do it, or how do I recreate my life in such a way that like I want to be the best version of myself? How do I recreate everything happening around me such that I want to give the world my very best. I don't want to stay on the same level I have been all the while. I want to move ahead. I want to be part of the top people doing things in the world. How do I do that? You start with strategizing, and that's like reframing. All right. And then the very last one on my list is resurgence. Resurgence. Resurgence is after you have re-strategized, then you do what? You rise, you come up. Fine, you may fall, but you go back, you take responsibility, you reframe, you rise again. If you come down, you take responsibility, you reframe, you rise. All right. Now I'm going to be spending more time on reframing right now. All right. I'm going to spend more time on reframing. So, how do you reframe after you have taken responsibility? Please note, you need to have gotten to the level of taking responsibility before you can reframe. Okay. So, how do you reframe? Ask yourself, what are your core values? What do you believe in the most? If anybody should wake you up and tell you that, like, okay, what is your belief about life? You should be able to like tell them, like, okay, this is what I believe in. These are my core values. You need to have your core values, right? Now, in knowing your core values, ask yourself, what are the three things in my past that I did that I am most proud of? It will give you a pointer as to what your values are. The things that are most important to you are your core values. Okay? Ask yourself, look into the past and ask yourself, at what point in my life did I do something and I was very, very proud of? Now, that will give you what's called your core value, will give you, or will show you the path. I'm sorry, will show you a path you are meant to take. It show you a path you are meant to go in life. Okay? What are your what? What are your core values? Now, after you're able to answer your core values, then ask yourself, what do you want? What do you want out of life? Ask yourself, what do you want out of life? Now, in wanting something out of life, I need to state, I'm sorry, I need to state a particular belief, and it is sorry, a particular law, and it's called the law of belief. The law of belief says that whatever you believe with conviction becomes your reality. So ask yourself, what do I believe in? What is my belief? Right? If your belief system is wrong, can you change your belief system? Can you step back a bit? You've paused, you've taken responsibility, then ask yourself, is this belief of mine going to take me to where I want to get to? Okay? Is this belief of mine going to take me where I want to get to? If it should not, then you have to what? Change your belief system totally, right? There's some people that like feel that like, okay, it is only the rich that can keep on getting richer, that the poor are destined to be poor. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Personally, I do not. That is not my own belief system. I believe that like anyone that is willing to put in the work can be wealthy. A person that is willing to follow the principles of wealth can become wealthy, and a rich person that does not continue to follow the principles of wealth will become poor on the long run. Now, that is what I believe in. So I believe in rather. That is what I believe in. Okay. Um, the law of attraction says that you are a living magnet, right? Whatever you think about, whatever you imagine comes to you. If you imagine the positive, it comes to you. You imagine the negative, it comes to you. It all boils down to like what you want. If you want the best out of life, you should be able to attract the thing that you want. You need to constantly think about what you want, where you want to get to. Okay, where you want to get to, you need to think of it deeply. Now, in achieving this, ask yourself this question: where do I want to be in the next 5 years? Ask yourself, where do I want to be in the next 5 years? Now, you've gotten to a point in your life that like, okay, you feel that what works no longer works, or what used to work no longer works, and you've taken responsibility of everything. Now, ask yourself, where do I want to be, or where am I headed? Where do I want to be, based on my core values? Where do I want to what go to? All right. Where do I need to be in the next 5 years? Now, as you are imagining this, as you are writing it down, you would realize that like your thought process begins to change, because you have stepped back, you have looked at the reality of life, that what you have been doing all this while no longer works. So what can you do differently based on where you are headed? What can you do differently? Which takes us to what can you learn to get to the next phase of your life? Knowledge is power. Knowledge is very, 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 very important. What can you learn for you to do what? To get to the next phase of your life. Because if you want to get somewhere, it is what you know that will take you to where you are headed. If you have no knowledge, you cannot just say that like you want to wing it. Nobody wings anything in this world. You need to know where you are headed. And then you need to ask yourself, what do I need to know to get to where I am headed? All right. What do I need to know to get to where I am headed? Now, we need to be weary of three enemies that happens to us, or that comes into our life over time. There are three enemies we need to be very, very wary of. All right. The first enemy is the comfort zone. The first enemy anyone can have in this world is what? The comfort zone. I'm sorry, just give me a second. Let me clear my face again. Don't worry, when I have this in this room, I'll no longer be sweating. All right. I said that like the first enemy you need to be weary of is comfort zone. A lot of the time, a lot of us are used to being in our comfort zone, and we ask ourselves that like, why are things not happening the way we want them to happen? It is because you chose to stay in your comfort zone. If you do not learn to push yourself and stretch yourself out, believe you me, you go nowhere. You are going to be stuck in that same spot. That's the first enemy, the enemy of what? Comfort zone. The second enemy is called learned helplessness. The second enemy is called helplessness. Now, learned helplessness is triggered by the fear of failure. A lot of the time, people choose not to reinvent themselves because of the fear of failure. They'll ask you, they're like, what if I try this thing and it doesn't work out? Now ask yourself, what if you try that same thing and it actually works out? Why stay on the same spot? Why are you afraid? Why are you afraid of failure? Why are you afraid of losing? That's once you when sorry when you fail, when you lose, it is not the end of your life. You can get back up again. But a lot of the time, I've seen a lot of people that they stay stuck on one spot because they chose not to try. They chose not to try because they're afraid that they're going to fail if they did. If you're on that table, my brother, my sister, get yourself out of that place. Get yourself out. Like you need to get yourself out of that spot. All right. Now, a third enemy you need to be very, very wary of. A third enemy you need to be wary of is the enemy of natural tendency to follow the path of least resistance, to continually seek for fast, easy, enjoyable ways to do things. All of now we like shortcuts. That is just basically what's it called. What I'm trying to say. All of now we like shortcuts to success. You are not reinventing yourself. You are doing yourself more harm than good because the world that we live in is based on principles. And if you're trying to like look for shortcuts in getting the result, at a point you are going to be stuck. Yes, you may actually get results at the very beginning. Pardon me, please. You may get results at the very beginning, but at a point you are going to be stuck. All right. I said the first enemy is comfort zone. The second enemy is learn helplessness. Those of you that are afraid to fail, and that is why you choose not to change what you are comfortable with. The third one is trying to look for shortcuts to success. All of you trying to look for shortcuts to success, believe you me, you're doing yourself a great disservice. The summary of this three is this: take risks. You need to learn to take risks. If you ask anybody that is old, that is probably in their 60s, in their 70s, and ask them, they're like, what is one of the regrets you have in life? One of the things they're going to tell you is that, like, I never took risks. All the things that, like, I worried about that would happen never happened. So why didn't I just take that risk? A lot of you out there are still young. Do not go down that path of, I don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. Try it out. In trying that thing out, you're going to learn something that will help you to move on to the next level. Yes, have I arrived to at the level I want to arrive in this world? No, I haven't. But I will keep on taking risks until I get to where I want to get to. And that is it. Until I get to the level I want to get to, I will keep on taking risks. So why don't you also take that risk? A lot of you guys are in that job that no longer pays the salary that can cater for your need, but because you chose not to move out of your comfort zone, you're still on that level. If you want to reinvent yourself, you have to learn to take what? You have to learn to take risks. Okay? All right. So now that you have gotten to that level that like all right, you have learned what you need to know to get to the next level, you are ready to take risks. What do you do next? Write your goals down, write your visions, write your plans. Now, it is very, very important. It is very, very important. I must say this. It is very, very important that you write down your goals. There was, I read something somewhere that like there was a survey that was carried out in Harvard University, right? There was a survey that was carried out in Harvard University, and they grouped people into three different categories. The first set of people had their vision, had their goals written out. The second set of people knew what they wanted to do, knew their plan in their head, but they never wrote it out. And then the third set of people did not have any plans at all. They did not have any plans at all. Now, 10 years along the line, the people that carried out the experiment went in search of those same people that that they did the survey on 10 years back, right? And then they found out that like the people that what's the word now? The people that thought about what they wanted to become or had their plans in their head but never wrote it down were 10 times better than those people that never had any plan at all. They were 10 times better than those people that had never had any plans at all. However, the people that wrote down their plans, the people that wrote down their plans were were much more better than the people that just had an idea of what their plans would be and the people that don't have any plans at all combined together times three. Combined together times three. So it goes to show you that like you need to write out your plan. For those of us that are Christians, we know I've said this before that like the Bible says write a vision and make it plain that they may run and not fail. All right, those that see the vision will keep on running. So you need to what? You need to write out your vision. It is very, very important. I would keep on saying this. You need to write down your vision. It is not enough for you to say that like I want to be this. You need to have a vision board. You need to write it out. And you need to see it every day, somewhere that you can see it, and you keep telling yourself that like I am going to be this. I am going to be this. I am going to be this. And you keep working what? Towards it. You keep working towards it. All right. Now, based on your goals, so in writing your goals, rather, in writing your goals, you start with what? What you have. What do you have currently? What are your core strengths? Work with what you have and then build on what you have. I've already talked about learning, getting more knowledge. Build on what you have. Work with what you have. Work with what you have. Build on what you have. And then follow the roadmap to achieving your destinated goal. All right? Work with what you have. Add to what you have based on, or like with knowledge, right? And work with what? Your plan. Okay? Now, another way in which you can help yourself in reinventing yourself is have people around you that can always tell you the truth. Always have surround yourself with people that can tell you what the truth. You need people that can tell you that, like, dude, you're not doing this the right way. You're not going in the right path. You're not doing it the way you ought to do it. You need to have the right set of people. If you want to know how far you would go in life, check the five friends around you. It will give you an idea where your life is headed. If the people in your life are not going where you're going to, why not change your set of friends? Give priority to people that are going the path you want to go to in life and step back from those people that are not even adding to your life. Step back from them because those people that are going your own path, that are going your way in life, would easily tell you that, like, guy, you are missing it, or they will give you feedback, right? As much as you yourself are reevaluating everything you're doing, you should be able to also have people that can tell you that this is where you ought to do. Why don't you try this thing this way? For every of my video, right, I have people that I go to meet. There's a particular man in my church. His name is Mr. Isaac. He's probably watching this at some point. I go to meet him every Sunday and then I ask him, sir, what can I do differently? I have people on my list that I go to meet and I tell them that, like, okay, this is where I am headed. But based on what I am doing right now, is there anything I can do to change what I am doing right now? I have people that I am accountable to. I have people that I am accountable, and you also should have people that you should be accountable to, right? As I'm growing in life, as I'm reinventing myself to stay relevant in this world that we are in, I have people that I tell, this is where I'm headed. If I am not going that path, they will come and meet me. They're like, that thing that you said that you want to do, how far with it? One of the things that I decided to do this year, I have said this over and over and over again, is that I want to create 100 live videos. This is episode 7. By the time I am done, I have 93 videos, live videos left to create. I have people that I tell so that they can hold me accountable. And by the time that I have got, or by the time I would have gotten to the 100th video, believe you me, I would have grown, I would have been better than this. If you feel that like my presentation is not great right now, if you feel that like the way I'm sweating, you don't like it, yes, thank you. Come and tell me. I would work on it. I will become better. But guess what? By the end of this year, by the time I've created my 100th video, I would not be the same person that I am right now. I would have reinvented myself. And so also should be the case with you. You should be able to do what? You should be able to reinvent yourself. You should not just stay on one spot. If you feel that like I am not the best, what's the word now? person that can stand on stage and talk. I'm not English don't fail me, but anyway, you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm not a motivational speaker, but then I am on a journey, right? Some people are seeing me now. In the next few years, you would see me again and you'd be like, wow, this guy has transformed. What changed? What changed was consistency. You need to be consistent. In reinventing yourself, you have to be what? You have to be consistent because nothing good comes easy. You can follow the law of 100 that I once spoke about, right? Follow the law of 100. The law, the law of 100 says that like you have to do something 100 times before you ever think of backing out. So if you want to reinvent your body, let's say you want to slim down, then you need to exercise for at least 100 days non-stop before you tell yourself that like, do I want to quit exercising? You need to tell yourself that. Okay? The law of 100 is very, very key or is very, very useful in trying to reinvent yourself. It will help you in your goal, in your path in life. And on this note, I have come to the end of today's class. If you have any question to ask me, please do put it in the comment section. While while we're waiting for that, I said that like today's topic was what? Reinventing yourself. How to what? Reinvent yourself. Okay. And I made mention that like we have changed this program. It is now called the Otumba Adams Show. I wanted to name it the Femi Adams Show, but then I felt that like, hey, everybody knows me as Otumba Adams, so why don't I just keep it as the Otumba Adams Show? I'm going to put the link in the comment section, the link in the comment section right now. Click on it and be a part of the show. All right, join our Telegram group and I'm sorry, join our Telegram group. Let me put the link up. Join our Telegram group, and you can also like my Facebook page, Adam Femi, right? You can like the Facebook page, and you would get information as regards the show. I'm thinking of bringing new things to the show, right? I'm still waiting for your question. If you have any question to ask me, please put it in the comment section. So I'm still thinking of new things to bring to the show to make it livelier, to make it better, to make it much more interesting. If you have any ideas to make this show much more than, or to make this show better, please send me a message to my WhatsApp. All right, I'm gonna give you guys my number. Should I even drop my number? No, 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 no. Let me give you guys my email address. Give you guys my email address because I don't want anybody come and start posting me. Just joking. Let me drop my email address. If you have any feedback you would like me to have, anything I can do to make this show better, any corrections, I am open to corrections. Right, so for feedback, please send me an email. I would be willing to read it and I would make corrections and I will make this show a better one. I'll make this show a better one. All right, so it seems we don't really have any questions for today. I've been sweating. It is hot in Nigeria. If you're actually watching me from any part of the world, Nigeria is very, very hot right now. And coupled with the fact that like my ring lights and I do not do well with heat. So if there are no questions for today's program, it's been an honor, it's been a privilege to have taught today. Thank you all for being a part of the show. Thank you very much. We would see again on Saturday. Sorry, not on Saturday this time around. Our next episode will be on Sunday. I'll be bringing up a guest. I would not let the cat out of the bag yet, but I'll let you all know. I hope I would meet you guys again, not really same time, or same time next week. But on Saturday, it's going to be, so on Sunday, it will be in the evening. So I hope I get to see you guys there. Thank you for being a part of the show. It means a lot to me for as many that have been consistent with the show. Thank you very much. I do not take your time for granted because I know that like a lot of you guys are using your data and it really does mean a lot to me. Thank you. Please do invite other people to be a part of the show. The next time we'll be live. It should also mean a lot to me. Thank you. I said I was going to share Google and Mekba. Come and meet me in the DM, especially for those of you that are coming for the very first time. Come and meet me in the DM. I'm going to share your Google and Mekba privately. All right, then. Thank you and do have a lovely day. signing out.